this is Ananya. In today's lecture, we will be studying about three functions, that is map, filter and reduce. Last time we had studied about lambdas, right? So this is basically a continuation of it, but also something totally new. Now map, filter and reduce are functional tools that is used for programming. Now they are basically used when you have cumbersome code and you can try and reduce the cumbersomeness of it. So that's when you use these functions. Now firstly we'll be starting off with map. Now map, as the word itself says, you are mapping something to something else. For example, if you had to map the marks of one student to the student itself, that's where you would have used the map function. Now let's go ahead and actually implement this. Okay, so our program is assigning, or rather say mapping, the student with his or her marks. For that, what we do is without using lambda. Okay, this program is without using lambda. So I have my marks inside a tuple and the names of students inside another tuple. So how we could go about this is, in a variable result, I say map, assign, and then these tuples. Now let me explain this to you. Map takes a minimum of two parameters. That is, the first one being the function name and the second one being the iterable. That is something that you need to iterate through, maybe a list or a tuple. So I have my function assign, and next I have two lists, or rather say two tuples, students and marks. So what happens in map is, as soon as the student and marks go inside the function assign, it will go according to each single element. That is, the first time 70 and Ananya will be going. So X is basically student, that is Ananya, since I've given student first, and Y will be 70. So now what I want to do is, I simply want to concatenate these two. So I say Ananya plus colon plus 70. So Ananya has scored 70 marks. And this gets stored into result in the form of a list. I hope you all got this. I'll just do another example. The next time when it iterates inside both these lists or tuples, first S1 will go to X, next 80 will go to Y. They are getting concatenated and they are returned into result. Okay, I hope you all got this. Now let's run this code. Okay, so as you can see, Ananya is given 70, S1 is 80, S2 is 90. Now what if we were to perform the same task using lambdas? It would have been much more shorter and a way more elegant. So as you can see, I have the same two tuples, and instead of the function assign, what I am doing here is I'm just creating an anonymous function lambda because I just only want to use it once, right? So lambda x comma y. In case you do not know about lambda, but I think you really should, just go and visit my previous lecture on lambda. You'll get to understand that a lot in detail. So lambda x comma y, again x is the student name, y is the marks, and I'm performing the exact same function. And then what I do is, I say students and marks. These are the two iterables that I want to pass to map. And that's it. I am printing the list form of result. If I run it, you can see you are getting the exact same answer, but you reduced your length of code. So I hope you all understand what mapping is. Pretty simple. Just map one element by one, okay? One by one. Now that we have understood what map is, let us come to filter. Now the meaning lies in the word itself. You have a tuple or maybe a list of items. You are iterating through it given a certain condition. And from that, you extract the elements that you want using filter. And it's as simple as that. Now let's implement it. Now we have filter, right? So I have a tuple, or rather say a tuples inside tuple. So it is exactly like the previous example, but I have my name and scores stored together inside each tuple. All right. So Ananya 70 one tuple, S180 another tuple, S290 another tuple, and so on. I have taken many more students and their respective marks. You can see various of them such as 11, 44, 79 and so on. So now what I want to do is I want to extract only those name score pairs which have their marks greater than 35. Okay, so I want the name and the marks where marks is greater than 35. So I shall pass into my filter function using lambda. Okay, I'm directly using lambda now because you all know how to solve this otherwise. So in a variable values, now values relates to what? Each single tuple inside the main tuple. So I'm telling it to check if values of 1 is greater or equal to 35. Okay. So if value of 1, what is value of 1? 70. So if it is greater than 35, extract it. Extract this entire thing, otherwise don't. For example, let's take 20. Now, if it checks 20, that values of 1 is less than 35, it'll basically just omit this, all right? And just remember one thing, that filter only takes 2 parameters, not more than that. Map was taking more than 2, but filter does not do so. Now, let's run this. Okay. So we get Ananya is 70, S1 80, 90, 65, 79 and 44. The others simply get omitted. Alright, I hope you all understood filter now. Now that we are done with map and filter, let's come to reduce. Now reduce is slightly different from the previous two. Why? Because we saw that we were getting a list of items. Here we do not get a list. We only get a certain value or a certain single answer. Now let's see what we have to do with reduce and how we can use it. Now reduce, as I said, is a little different from the previous filter and map functions. So you need to explicitly import this from functools because it is no more an inbuilt function in Python. So what I want to do here is I want to get the total amount I spent during shopping. So here, if you can see, I am taking inputs. Now, in case you didn't know, it is a little problematic, or rather say it's not possible to take inputs in Sublime Text. For that, I have given a special lecture just below this, where you can check out as to how to make input work in Sublime Text. So maybe you could just quickly go and see that, or if you know that already, pretty nice. So I'm taking the number of items he or she has bought. You all can just put this use in a while loop and just keep asking them if they want to continue or not. You all can do that way also, but I'm just doing this so as to shorten the time. Now I'm telling enter each item's amount. And inside total, I am performing a list comprehension that takes the input. Okay, this may be a little new for you. If you are following my lectures continuously, we are taking inputs inside the list comprehension itself. So input for I in range n. Now n is what? Number of items. And to that we pass this list, that is to the reduce function. I pass the list and the function. Now what does the function do? Let's come here. T, okay, I just made that opposite. Firstly, pass the function and next the iterable, all right? So the function says simply add 1 and 2. Now let's actually see how reduce works. For example, in my list total, I had the numbers 23, 45, 67, okay? Just 3 items. Firstly, what reduce would have done is, it would have taken 23 and 45. It would have added 23 and 45 to give us, what does it happen, 68, right? Now, the next time it iterates, it does 68 plus 67, okay? 68 plus 67, and then it gives us the final answer. So it takes 2 values each at a time and keeps iterating it. Now that you've understood this, let's execute it. Now what we need to do is
Okay, so how many items have you brought? It says maybe say 3. Okay. Next, enter each item's amount. Now, if you might get these things because we have a colon here, so it might take us, but it's not an issue, all right? So let me say 23, 67, 34. All right, and that's it. You get your answer. So this is how reduce works.
An important note, we have studied all of these functions and they are all used in functional programming. Something to remember is that you don't have to use it compulsorily wherever you can. Rather, try and avoid it because it's not that necessary, you see. You can rather use list comprehension or maybe just apply a for loop. This is something you must know and apply it only when it is absolutely necessary. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all learned and understood things. I'll see you all next time with another video. Till then, bye-bye.